All right, welcome back, everybody. Today's lesson is all about seeds, and we're going to be learning where seeds are stored inside plants and how they are spread and the 4 different ways seeds are spread. All right, so I have my worksheet here in front of me, and as you can see here, this worksheet is an example of a pod. And these are 2 pods here. This over here is a pea pod, and this over here is a maple leaf pod. And seeds are stored inside these pods to protect them. So over here we can see the 2 seeds that are inside a maple leaf pod, and this over here is a pea pod. All right. So seeds come in different kinds of cases, and this one I just showed you a pod case, and now I'm going to show you something that we all would be eating at home, I hope, and this is fruit. So a lot of seeds are stored inside fruit. So we have some apples here, we have oranges over here, and we have pears here. And that's just another way that seeds are protected. And pods and fruit, as I just said, are ways that seeds keep themselves protected from, things like animals and the weather and stuff like that. All right, let's go to our next lesson. So let's talk about how seeds are spread. So there's 4 ways seeds are spread. The first way is by animals. So birds and squirrels and other kinds of animals, they spread seeds. The second way is by the wind. So as the wind blows, it basically takes the seeds away from the flower of the plant, and they fly away and they get planted somewhere else. This is a picture of apples that have fallen from a tree. So a lot of seeds fall from trees or other flowers to the ground, and they either plant themselves there next to the trees, or they roll away to another area where they plant themselves. And the next one, or the last one, is water. There are some seeds that are very lightweight, and they will float. They'll fall in the water, and they'll float down the river or on the lake to another location and eventually plant themselves there in a new place. All right, so let's talk about some animals. And we know that animals such as chipmunks, squirrels, mice, they love to eat nuts and seeds, so they'll nibble on these things and they will crack their shells. Sometimes the seed will fall out of the mouth and stay on the ground, and that will transplant into a new flower as time goes on. Another way that animals spread seeds is something like this. So this over here is a plant, this is a burr, and these burrs have hooks. Those long stems there are hooks. And we've seen when we go for hikes, when we've gone for hikes in the Arboretum or other places, these burrs basically get stuck on people. So when they get stuck on people, we actually walk them to another area, and they'll fall off and they will replant themselves. So here's a picture of a dog that has lots of burrs stuck on his head. You see them all over here? So this dog was probably going for a walk where he shouldn't have been going in the forest, got stuck, some burrs stuck on his fur, and when he goes home or shakes these off, those seeds will come out and they will plant themselves in a new location. Pretty neat. Another way that seeds grow is by the wind. So I cut this picture out here because it's a dandelion, but as we blow our dandelions, the dandelions has all these little seeds in here. So those will blow away into a new location, and wherever they land, they will plant themselves and hopefully grow, right? So here is another example of a seed. This is that maple leaf seed. Some people like to call them the helicopters because they fall down from the trees like a helicopter and they spin like this. So same thing, when the wind blows, And these leaves, so these seeds fall off of the tree, they will come to the ground and eventually replant themselves. So that's pretty neat. What else do we have here? We have weight. So here's my little coloring. As you can see, this is an apple tree. So when fruit and nuts become too heavy on the tree, they will fall from the tree onto the ground. And then they'll land there on the ground. As you can see, there's 4 apples with one more coming at 5. So those apples will either roll away and they'll roll to somewhere new, or they will stay there and get replanted, right? So weight of the fruit or the nut, and here's a bunch of pictures of fruits and nuts, will help that seed plant itself again and grow into another tree or a plant. All right? And the last way that seeds spread is through water. And these are 2 examples of trees that love to live near water. This here is a willow tree, and this here is a birch tree. And can you see the water in these pictures? The water is over here, and the water is all in the background over here. So these trees have very light seeds that are grown in the leaves there up high, and when they fall off of the tree and they land in the water carries them down the river or down the lake to a new location. And they eventually could be replanted and grow into another tree. And that's how these trees like to, these seeds like to transplant themselves. All right, there's other flowers as well. And this is an example of a yellow flag flower. And sorry, that's over here, the yellow one. And this is over here, this is a water mint flower. And as you can see, both of these flowers are again close to water. So these flower seeds, they will fall off eventually when the time comes. They'll land in the water and they'll go down the river or down the lake and transplant themselves into a new location. All right, so I have one more video to show you. I'm going to merge these ones together to talk about seeds and how seeds are protected inside fruit. I hope you enjoy it. Watch the Google Slides presentation afterwards to answer some questions. Do the Kahoot. Thanks so much. I hope you learned something today. Hey, good morning, everybody. So today we're going to talk about seeds. And this morning, Mr. Leos was getting ready for lunch, and I was cutting into some fruits and vegetables. And I thought, wow, I'm finding some seeds. So let's talk about seeds. All plants produce seeds, and they keep these seeds in different places for protection. Some plants will grow seeds in fruits and vegetables, and this is where the seeds are held to protect them from animals, from the environment, and things like that. Come a little closer. So Mr. Leos was cutting into a squash, and this is an example of a squash. A squash is actually a fruit, and some people call it a vegetable. So when I started cutting into the squash, this is what the inside of the squash looks like, and look what I found. I found some seeds. Can you find the seeds in the squash? Are these the seeds? No. Are these the seeds? Yes, absolutely. So you can see inside this fruit is where it keeps its seeds to regrow itself. And then I started looking at other things too, like a tomato. Can you find the seeds inside the tomato? Here they are right there. And then I was going to eat a pear for breakfast, and I thought, let me see what happens when I cut my pear in half. And look over here, look what I find in here. Oh, what is that? Those are pear seeds. So you see the seeds are found inside the fruit. Let's take a look to see what happens when we cut into an apple. And what do we see in here? Seeds. Let's try to get them out. Look at that. Other fruits or vegetables that have seeds are cucumbers, lemons, and oranges. So today, come up here, take a look at me. So today, when you're looking inside your refrigerator or on your counters, I want you to see if you can find any kind of fruit or vegetables that have seeds. And later on, we might take one of these seeds here from our squash and plant it and see if we can actually get a squash plant growing for our vegetable garden. All right? That's your homework for today. Try to find as many things you can find with seeds. Bye for now.